You walked into that tire shop, stared at a wall of brand names, got overwhelmed, and pointed at Michelin. Because it felt safe. Because everyone says Michelin. Because the Michelin man has been smiling at you since childhood, and somewhere along the way, that smile became trust. But today, I'm going to show you 13 tire brands that will give you the same grip, the same durability, the same wet weather confidence for significantly less money. And number one is going to genuinely surprise you. Michelin has held the crown for decades. Great tires, great marketing, great price tags. But here's what the industry won't tell you. The technology gap between premium and mid-tier has nearly closed. Compound science, tread engineering, wet weather grip formulas, they've spread across the industry. Today we count down 13 brands delivering elite performance without the elite price. Starting at 13, working our way to the single best value tire brand on the market right now. Number 13, Yokohama. Yokohama founded in 1917. Over a century of tire engineering. Their Advan series has Motorsport DNA, used in actual racing programs across Japan and globally. The everyday version? Handles rain confidently, runs quiet on the highway, and comes in 15 to 20% cheaper than comparable Michelin models. Their Blue Earth lineup is built for commuters, low rolling resistance, strong fuel efficiency, genuinely comfortable highway ride. And the Avid Ascend GT? In independent wet braking tests from 50 miles per hour, it stopped within 2 to 3 feet of comparable Michelin offerings. 2 to 3 feet at highway speed. That is not a meaningful real-world difference. For daily commuters and family drivers, Yokohama is an outstanding, underappreciated starting point. Number 12, Nexen. Nexen South Korean engineering, global standards, and a price point that will make you do a double take. Their Ninfera Sport has shown up in independent European comparison tests, finishing within the top tier, not just beating budget tires, but sitting within measurable distance of Michelin Pilot Sport in wet braking benchmarks. One test found the Nexen Ninfera Sport stopping approximately 4 feet longer than a Michelin Pilot Sport 4S from 60 miles per hour. 4 feet. At 60 miles per hour, the average driver travels 130 feet before even touching the brakes due to reaction time. That laboratory gap is real, but it doesn't translate into meaningful real-world risk for how most people actually drive. Meanwhile, Nexen comes in 40 to 50% cheaper. On 4 tires, that's $300 to $500 back in your pocket. Number 11, Cooper. American-made since 1914, now part of the Goodyear family. Cooper's strength is versatility. Their Discoverer AT3 all-terrain lineup has developed a genuine cult following among truck owners, and deservedly so. It handles highway miles quietly. It navigates gravel, hardpack, and light mud with real authority. It manages snow better than most tires in its class. That balance, on-road comfort and off-road capability, without completely compromising either, is harder to engineer than it sounds. Cooper has spent over a century getting it right. Their CS5 Ultra Touring is similarly impressive for passenger cars, a comfortable, long-wearing all-season that performs well above its price point. Cooper isn't a flashy brand, it's a dependable one. Sometimes that's exactly what you need. Number 10, Toyo. If you spend time in the enthusiast community, car shows, track days, the corners of YouTube where people actually drive their cars, you've heard the name. And for good reason. The Toyo Proxys R888R is a semi-slick tire sitting right at the boundary between street-legal rubber and racing slick. It's the tire for the driver who goes to a track day Saturday morning and drives home Saturday afternoon. Grip levels on dry pavement are extraordinary, but even their more streetable Proxys Sport is a deeply capable tire, strong dry performance, competent wet handling, usable tread life. Compare it to the Michelin Pilot Sport 4. The Michelin edges ahead in the most rigorous testing, but the Toyo is fast enough for every road you're legally allowed to drive on, and it costs 25 to 40% less. Number 9, Mastercraft. I know, budget brand, low prestige. But here's what people don't mention. Mastercraft is manufactured by Cooper Tire. Same engineering teams, same manufacturing facilities. Mastercraft is Cooper's value sub-brand, using slightly older compound formulations to hit a lower price point, while still benefiting from over a century of Cooper. Manufacturing quality. Their Stratus AS consistently earns strong consumer ratings for tread life, wet handling at normal driving speeds, and overall reliability. It is not a performance tire. It is not for sports cars. But if you have a high-mileage daily driver that spends its life commuting to work, buying Michelin tires for that car is like putting a designer suit on a scarecrow. Mastercraft delivers everything that vehicle actually needs for 50 to 60% less. Number 8, Continental. Continental founded in Hanover, Germany in 1871. Over 150 years of continuous tire engineering. They invented the grooved tire tread. They pioneered tubeless technology. And today, they are original equipment on BMWs, Mercedes-Benz, Audi, Porsche, and Volkswagen. Vehicles where tire performance is absolutely non-negotiable. When German automotive engineers, arguably the most demanding car builders in the world, choose a tire for their flagship vehicles, they choose Continental. That endorsement cannot be bought with a marketing budget. It is earned through engineering. So why is Continental on this list? Because their mid-range consumer lineup, the Pure Contact LS, True Contact Tour, Extreme Contact DWS 06 Plus, delivers that same engineering heritage at prices meaningfully below comparable Michelin offerings. The Pure Contact LS has topped Consumer Reports' all-season Grand Touring rankings. It is an outstanding tire, and it costs 15 to 30% less than a Michelin Cross Climate 2. For luxury sedans and performance SUVs, Continental is not a compromise. It is the smart choice. Number 7, Kumho. Kumho Tires, South Korea's other tire powerhouse, and a brand that has invested seriously in motorsport as a proving ground for their consumer products. That investment shows in the rubber. The Kumho Exta PS91 is a summer performance tire engineered for ultra-high performance vehicles. In independent tests, it has finished in the top tier against tires costing substantially more. The Exta PA51 all-season offering gives performance-minded drivers in northern climates a year-round option that maintains handling sharpness without completely sacrificing. Winter confidence. Simple value proposition. If you own a sport compact, a Honda Civic Si, a Volkswagen GT, a Mazda 3 Turbo, and you want to replace factory tires with something that maintains that vehicle's character without paying European prices, Kumho Exta belongs in your conversation. The dry and wet handling benchmarks are close enough to Michelin to matter. The price gap is wide enough to matter more. Number 6, Firestone. Firestone, founded in Akron, Ohio in 1900. Harvey Firestone's tires went on the first mass-produced Fords. They carried American troops through 2 world wars. Over a century of American rubber history. Today, Firestone is owned by Bridgestone, the Japanese tire giant, which means their manufacturing and engineering benefit from Bridgestone's global infrastructure. This matters. Firestone is not a budget brand built with budget processes. It's Bridgestone's North American value brand, built to Bridgestone quality standards. Their Firehawk AS is a workhorse, consistent wet handling, competent dry performance, strong tread life, no drama. It will never win a hype video. It will get you through a decade of winters without incident, and it costs 30 to 45% less than Michelin equivalents. In a world obsessed with premium everything, there's genuine value in a tire that simply delivers what it promises every time for less money. Number 5, Vredestein. This is the name most of you haven't heard. Dutch manufacturer, founded in 1909, primarily serving the European market. In the United States, they are essentially invisible. Most tire shops don't stock them. Most consumers have never encountered the brand. That invisibility is exactly why they're at number 5. In European automotive testing, conducted by publications like AutoBuild and independent technical institutes, some of the most rigorous tire evaluations in the world. The Vredestein Ultrac consistently appears in the top tier, not competitive with mid-range tires, competitive with premium tires. In some wet handling and braking benchmarks, the Ultrac has finished within statistical measurement error of the Michelin Pilot Sport 4. That performance level, achieved by an essentially unknown brand in the North American market, creates a pricing reality that benefits informed consumers. Because Vredestein doesn't carry Michelin's brand premium here, dealers who do stock them often price aggressively to move inventory. In some markets, 40 to 55% below equivalent Michelin offerings. The performance gap is narrow, the price gap is substantial. This is your insider tip. Number 4, General Tire. General Tire, founded in Akron, Ohio in 1915. Acquired by Continental in 1987. And that acquisition is the entire story. Continental, the German engineering powerhouse we discussed at number 8, took over General Tire and gave them access to their full engineering infrastructure compound, research, and manufacturing technology. General Tire is, in practical terms, Continental's North American value brand. And Continental doesn't build bad tires. Not in their value lines. Not anywhere. The General Grabber AT2 has developed a devoted following in the truck and off-road community for straightforward reasons. It works exceptionally well at everything a truck owner actually needs. Highway comfort, off-road bite, snow confidence, durability. Their Ultimax RT45 consistently scores near the top of Consumer Reports all-season touring rankings for ride comfort, road noise, and handling. It repeatedly shows up in recommendation lists as the premium performance, mid-range price option. The Continental engineering behind it is not a coincidence. General Tire is undervalued by brand perception alone. Number 3, BF Goodrich. We open the final stretch with the most dramatically proven brand on this list. BF Goodrich. One fact tells the entire story. The Baja 1000. 1,000 miles through the brutal Baja, California peninsula. No smooth roads, no guardrails, no mercy. Navigated at racing speeds for up to 20 hours straight. BF Goodrich has been the tire of choice for competitors in that race for over 50 consecutive years. 50 years. No marketing campaign survives a tire blowout at Baja. The only reason BF Goodrich has remained in that race for half a century is because their tires genuinely handle punishment at the highest level. And here's the detail that makes BF Goodrich's placement at number 3 particularly interesting. They are owned by Michelin. Same parent company, shared engineering resources. And yet in the truck and off-road segment, BF Goodrich consistently outperforms comparable Michelin offerings at meaningfully lower prices. If I'm putting tires on a truck I actually use as a truck, BF Goodrich is where my money goes. Every time. Number 2, Hankook. And this is the brand that surprised me most in researching this video. Not because I didn't respect Hankook, I always have, but because the depth of their OEM relationships is something most consumers simply don't know. OEM. Original equipment manufacturer. The tire a car company chooses to put on their vehicle when it rolls off the assembly line. Not a marketing decision, an engineering decision. Manufacturers at the luxury and performance end evaluate tires through rigorous testing, thousands of miles under controlled conditions, evaluated for handling precision, noise, safety margins, and specific compatibility with that vehicle's suspension tuning. No tire manufacturer buys their way onto a premium OEM specification list. Hankook is OEM on the Hyundai Genesis G90, competing directly with BMW 7 Series and Mercedes S-Class. They are OEM on certain Porsche models. They are OEM on Audi and Volkswagen Group vehicles. These relationships are earned through performance, not purchased through sponsorship. Their Ventus S1 Evo 3 flagship summer tire has appeared in European top-tier test rankings, competing directly with the Michelin Pilot Sport 4S. Dry grip is exceptional. Wet braking has improved dramatically over previous generations, and it costs 30 to 45% less than a comparable Michelin. On 4 tires for a performance vehicle, $400 to $800 saved. Beyond performance tires, Hankook's lineup is comprehensive. The Kinergy PT Touring All-Season is one of the best rated in its category. Their truck and SUV offerings deliver strong value. Whatever you drive, Hankook almost certainly has a tire engineered for your specific use case, validated by the world's most demanding automakers at a price that consistently undercuts Michelin. That combination earns number 2. Number 1, Falken. The brand that represents the single best value in tire purchasing available to the North American consumer today. The brand that in specific performance categories doesn't just compete with Michelin, it beats it. Falken. Falken is owned by Sumitomo Rubber Industries, one of the world's largest tire manufacturers, operating since 1909, supplying original equipment to major automakers globally. Falken was created as Sumitomo's performance-focused consumer brand, launched with an aggressive strategy, build genuinely excellent tires, price them to compete, and prove the engineering through motorsport. That motorsport commitment has been serious. Falken has competed in the Nürburgring 24 Hours, one of the most grueling endurance races in the world. They've competed in Super GT in Japan. They've produced results in those programs, which means their compound development has real racing data behind it. The Azenis FK520 is their flagship all-season ultra-high-performance tire. In a comprehensive all-season comparison conducted by a major North American automotive publication, the FK520 finished in the top 3, ahead of tires from brands with far greater consumer recognition and significantly higher price points. Dry handling is sharp and communicative. Wet performance is confident and progressive. Light snow capability is adequate for most 4-season climates. In the ultra-high performance all-season segment, the fastest-growing tire category in North America, the Falken FK520 has been head-to-head tested against the Michelin Cross Climate 2, the Continental Extreme Contact DWS06 Plus, and the Bridgestone Potenza Sport AS. It doesn't just compete, it frequently leads. The Michelin Cross Climate 2 costs, depending on size, $30 to $50 more per tire. On a set of 4, up to $200 more for a tire that in several real-world performance metrics finishes behind the Falken. Their Azenis FK510 summer performance tire belongs in the same conversation as the Michelin Pilot Sport 4 at 25 to 35% less. The Wild Peak Trail has become one of the most talked about all-terrain tires in the overlanding community. Falken has quietly built one of the most complete, most capable, most intelligently priced tire lineups available. The people who actually know tires, who track their cars, who read comparison tests, who spend time on enthusiast forums, they've known about Falken for years. They've been quietly buying them while everyone else overpaid for logos. 13 brands, all validated by independent testing, by automakers who stake their reputation on engineering decisions, by racing programs that punish bad tires in front of global audiences, and by millions of drivers who came back and bought them again. Michelin makes great tires. I won't pretend otherwise. But great marketing and great engineering are not the same thing. And for too long, Michelin's marketing has been doing the work of their engineering in the minds of the average buyer. Match your tire to your vehicle. Match it to your driving style. Match it to your climate. Stop paying for a logo when the rubber underneath it performs just as well, or better. If this video saved you money or made you think differently about how you buy tires, drop a like. Subscribe if you want more of this. And tell me in the comments, which brand on this list do you already swear by? I read every comment. See you in the next one.